So my journey began the same way that all great journeys do, with me selecting the all-new WWE career mode. First up, I had to choose my wrestler's origin story. Was he a roided-up MMA fighter with almost no eyebrows? Or a roided-up pro athlete with a golden sock in his right hand and a ton of in his hair? Or was he just a fat American dude? Or was he a sus flasher in a kinky leather jacket full of shoelace holes? Nah, you guessed it. He's Captain Steroids with no eyebrows. I also had to choose what weight division I wanted to be in, and obviously joining skinny beta males R Us wasn't even an option, and neither was Man Boobs Incorporated, so heavyweight seemed like a reasonable compromise between the two. I set my name to Agent 47, my abbreviated name and my entrance name to Hitman, my social account name to Real Hitman, you know, to differentiate me from all the fake hitmen on social media, my presentation name to The Assassin, and my hometown to North Korea. I selected Striker as my starting class, and then after an unhealthy amount of time debating which of these atrocious heads I was going to live with, I went with this one. And with that done, it was time to crack out the old hammer and chisel and turn this blank slate into a masterpiece. And this is what we ended up with. Pretty sexy, right? Anyway, now it was time to pick my body type, and whilst I really wanted to pick this one, I begrudgingly went with this disgusting one instead. After that, I picked the pastiest, most vitamin D deficient skin color I could find that wasn't the color of a dead body. Then I proceeded to get a series of extremely creepy vein implants to make me look like I was so jacked that my skin was literally about to explode off my jackness. Then I decided to go through all of the possible character poses I could go through because I thought it would make a pretty good montage for the videos, so yeah. Now at this point I thought I was finally ready to enter the game. After all, I looked ready in those tight little red hot pants. So I headed into the WWE Performance Center and rubbed my fat fingers all over my iPad to give the impression to everyone that I was a genius. And then I remembered that I'd forgotten the most important part of the character creation process. So I ripped out both of my eyes and replaced them with two beautiful bright blue ones, and proceeded to slap a barcode on the back of my head for a jumbo bag of dingle dangles from the adult lifestyle supermarket. But then I spent a literal 5 hours creating my custom-made Hitman wrestling suit, which took me 5 hours because this is a 2K game, and as a result, it hard crashed repeatedly, erasing my progress and making me start over and over and over again. Anyway, once that was finally done, I paid extra attention to the most important part of any wrestler's outfit, which is obviously his underpants, which, like Superman, he wears on the outside. And let me tell you, I went to great lengths to create my very own unique pair of budgie smugglers unlike anything the world has ever seen before. Pretty good, huh? And I also had to create a tie, which again made the game crash repeatedly, adding another couple of hours to the whole process, but I wasn't mad at all, I assure you. I totally didn't tombstone my computer through the floor to the living room in the apartment below. And just like that, almost 7 hours later, I'd finally finished creating my character. I love 2K games. Anyway, now it was time to begin my journey to the top, which unironically started with an induction held by the legendary Shawn Michaels himself, and 3 unknown losers that I like to call Tweedledum, Tweedledummer, and Tweedle So Dumb I'm Dead. I figured that the best way to make an impact would be to call out Shawn Michaels in the middle of the induction, then beat his ass in front of everyone, forever solidifying my legacy as the man with the most steroids in his bloodstream in human history. So I kicked the man when he was down, then I picked him back up and kicked him in the armpit repeatedly and finished it off with an elbow to the head. After retiring Shawn Michaels permanently, old Road Dogg sent me on a mission to further prove my abilities inside the wrestling ring. This one's a bit weird though, I'm not gonna lie, because it had me going back in time to fight Hulk Hogan in the 80s. In my imagination. But whatever. After a couple of snappy punchy punchies and a clothesline, I attempted a Super Saiyan level 3 teabag from the top rope, which I missed. So I flipped him on his head and broke every bone in his body, kicked him in the back, did a little bit of ninja schnitzel, gave him the good old-fashioned fist to armor in every hole, and ended him with the 1, 2, 3, you're out of here, matey, Potato. Anyway, because this game's career mode is super lazily made, there's basically no cutscenes, so yeah, we're just thrown right into another fight, this time against The Rock, aka I think I might be lactating. Obviously, The Rock couldn't smell what I was cooking, but it was a and then for dessert, I popped a squat in his chest and boofed him in the face repeatedly until he swallowed all of his teeth. Then I chucked him into the rope thingies and beat his chest repeatedly to indicate that I was the king of the jungle. It's also at that moment that I realized I was beating up Steve Austin instead of The Rock. How the heck did that happen? Anyway, after finishing up a Raw, I headed over to NXT to fight against this grotty fellow for the belt. Long story short, I bashed him in the testes repeatedly until he sounded like Tattoo from Fantasy Island, but much to my surprise, and in true WWE fashion, I got ambushed by a bunch of bald zombies in leotards, who then proceeded to kick the crap out of me. It seemed, however, that they were just buying time for the same idiot that I just beat up to come back to the ring again, only this time he was covered in streamers and had a big tongue painted on his chest. Needless to say, he's dead now. Anyway, with that out of the way, I found myself in some wacky sausage fest where we all battled it out to set up a ladder in the middle of the ring where we had to climb to the top and steal a briefcase dangling from the ceiling. I wasn't going to go down without a fight though, even if that meant hanging from the ceiling until everyone else went home for the day. Which is exactly what I did. This briefcase, however, allowed me to pick a fight with anyone of my choosing, which was obviously for the Universal belt against that Roman guy. And as you can see by looking down at our health meters, I was absolutely destroying him, and I did get him down for a 3 count. Hooray! I'm the Universal Champion, baby. Unfortunately for me, though, as soon as I got into the back lot, Seth Rollins rocked up and elbowed me right in the barcode. I couldn't believe it. Then he and his bros literally tried to murder me by throwing me off a 2-story piece of scaffolding. But then this happened. Oopsie doopsie. I guess I'll be seeing you in the ring, Seth Rollins, for the WWE Championship belt. Sign the contract right now, you little... So I gave him the old 1, 2, 3 clothesline combo, kneed him in the balls from the top rope, gave him the old 1, 2 leg over the head missionary backflip, stole the baseball bat that he brought into the ring and broke his knee with it. And just like that, 1, 2, 3, there's a new WWE champion in the house, baby. It's Agent 47. But then, the greatest surprise in WWE history. Mostly because everybody could hear the footsteps, but nobody could see where they were coming from. John Cena rocked up and said that he wanted my belt. I'm sorry, John Cena, but you can't have it. You can have this instead, though. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, at some point in this video, I actually ended up fighting this guy as well. Everyone says he's really scary. But as you'll see right here, Agent 47 is scared of nothing. Matter of fact, he redefined scary. And it's been redefined as a tiny little bald man beating the crap out of a gargantuan giant inside of a wrestling ring. And slapping him in the face repeatedly. Look at that. It's glorious, isn't it? I'm just trying to make this video 8 minutes. Thanks for watching. Bye.